What's up, everyone? Welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm your host, Ryan Kramer, and this is Crossover Commerce, presented by PingPong Payments, the leading global payments provider helping sellers keep more of their hard-earned money. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Crossover Commerce. I'm your host, Ryan Kramer. Thanks for joining us today. We're live on Instagram. We're actually live on Instagram today, believe it or not, with our guest. And we're also going to be live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. For those of you who are just watching this for the first time or listening to us later on via podcast, thanks for joining us today. This show is built around giving insight into e-commerce landscape, onto what Amazon is successful in Amazon and e-commerce in general. We always want to walk away with some sort of nugget or perspective, but today is really exciting because we're going to do a whole seller spotlight on one of the people I find that's making waves in the space on social media, on just in business in general, and doing great things just as a businesswoman in general. Her name is Krystisina Uradzimskaya from AMZ Create, but also has so many other different brands underneath her purview. It's crazy to think that, you know, in the e-commerce space, lots of people can build up different brands and entities, and it just takes a lot of power, a lot of determination, and a lot of, you know, things to go your way also, but just hard work in general to see where people can take it to the next level. So super excited today to highlight one of the sellers that I find super inspiring to talk about. And we're just going to go through her story about her background, her life, what she's experiencing. And we always invite questions in the space. So go ahead and comment on the social media sites, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and even on Krystina's Instagram. We're going live on right now. But Krystisina, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. That's a big honor to be here on your podcast and share my knowledge, share my story. And I think, and I hope I can be helpful for someone who is just the beginning or in the middle of their journey, because I've been in e-com more than 10 years and I have a lot to share.
That's what I was going to say. So when we were initially like going back and forth and talking about what we can cover, you said, hey, Ryan, I have like 10 different businesses I run. So anything you want to talk about in e-commerce and Amazon, let me know. So I said, hey, let's just spotlight you as a seller. Let's spotlight your journey and really kind of go from there, because you have so many different projects in there in the works. It's amazing to know like what you're doing as a seller and a businesswoman and all the things that you're doing as a professional. So for people who just not be aware of you or not, a follower yet, or just want to know more about your journey, can you give us like that beginning from your personal life all the way to where you are today?
Sure. So my name is Krystina Uradzimskaya. Originally, I'm from Belarus. It's Eastern Europe. I'm 33 years old. I live in San Diego, California. A little bit of how I started in e-com. More than 10 years ago, I came to US to work on a Carnival cruise line on a work visa. And then right after the university. And then I found the job in the medical supply store. And the e-commerce was just beginning. I started selling a little bit on eBay, my own personal stuff, and then having the access to the huge inventory in the medical supply store, I proposed to them, guys, let's see how the e-com works. And we started to work on e-commerce on Amazon, trying to do the Amazon FBA, and that was very successful. There I found my partner for my first brand. It's called TerraMed. Then I bought him out, and actually, this is how it started, and I'm very, very, very proud that during all these years, I've been in an amazing community, an Amazon community. We've been building lots of brands, lots of products, and that was a great trip. Let's put it this way.
That's a great way to put it. It's a great trip so far. So you have, how many different brands are you currently operating right now? Because you said you started with people and then you've bought them out, but you have a couple ones that you're currently operating, correct?
Yes, I'm the sole owner of two main brands. This is TerraMed and Technology. And I'm partnering with some other people for the other brands, so like Panda Brothers. We also have Rita Pharmaceuticals. We have some other smaller projects, but it's all about the building the brands and establishing them.
Exactly. And how we were kind of touting and talking about in our initial conversation is you were talking about like that growth opportunity and potentially exiting, but just really getting involved in all these different categories. A lot of people may not know those types of categories that you sell in, but I believe it's fair to say it's baby, women's, is it pregnancy supplements?
Yeah, it's pregnancy. My main category and what I really enjoy, it's health and personal care, because I think that I strongly believe deep in myself that I can change this world. And even by providing some products like TerraMed does, we do provide the products for people who suffer from varicose veins, DVT, all the problems with veins insufficiency. So these products can not only change your life, they can actually save your life, because this is the medical products. They're prescribed by the doctor. You have the option to buy them in medical supply store for 10x times more than you can get them on Amazon. And that's my main approach. I really want to create the unique products to get the best service and the best products to my customers and the people who really like what I do. And we have people who've been in TerraMed business for more than 8 years on subscription. So that's already a lot to me.
And a lot of those products that you say those tangible products are like UV glasses. Is that correct? Like computer blue light glasses. Is that correct?
One of the products for TerraMed brand, it's called Migraine Glasses. Migraine Glasses, this is a very unique technology. It's called FL41. This is the lens that has more than 14 injections. It's very hard to make it this way, but we managed to do that. And it actually, in 30% of cases, people who suffer from migraines, the trigger of the migraines is light sensitivity. It can come from the concussion. It can come from many various reasons, the hormonal, many things. And these particular glasses, they deliver the tremendous relief, and they deliver the opportunity for the people who suffer from migraines to actually do things. They can go to the supermarkets with the harsh fluorescent lighting. They can work in more comfort atmosphere because they're blocking the harsh light. And that's one of my favorite products, actually. And it took me a lot of time and research to come up with this. And going deeper into the migraine thing, we just launched the supplement that also helps people who suffer from migraines to keep it up, to have the migraine attacks under control. So this is how I'm developing this migraine line.
So are you just selling on Amazon right now, or are you also selling on different platforms, for example, like in different marketplaces?
Yeah, so we do sell on different platforms. Shopify started with when the pandemic started. Shopify was pretty good because of the limits. As everybody else, we constantly getting out of stock. We're having the problems here and there. So the Shopify sales really kicked in, and I'm very happy about that. But again, I'll be honest with you, Amazon is still more than 90% of sales. So
absolutely. So it's a lot of that focus. And I think a lot of people will also tout those numbers is Amazon is a big core of your business, but in terms of the supplement and the side of things, like where you can grow potentially is outside of Amazon. So are you just selling in .com, or are you growing internationally? What's that like for you as a seller to have to think about those logistics potentially, or those kinds of not problems, but opportunities, if you will?
I had a long route. So first, when the Amazon started, I started selling on Amazon. As everybody else, I started doing merchant fulfilled orders. After that, I learned about the Amazon FBA. We started sending product to FBA. Right after that, in a year or two, we got the invitation from Vendor Central. We started to sell on Vendor Central. And then vendor central didn't work for us. There are many issues, and we couldn't keep up with them, or they couldn't keep up with us. We came back to FBA. And normally everything right now, even the Shopify, 90% of Shopify, we do create fulfillment orders. So all the inventory, everything is stored in Amazon. And this is like our basic stuff where we actually keeping our inventory and doing all the fulfillments from all other multi-channel fulfillments through the Amazon.
That's awesome. So what is it? So what's it like to educate yourself in the space? You said that you had to like learn the ropes. It was a lot of trial and error. Where was a lot of that education coming from for you? Is it just kind of doing it yourself? Were you relying on other people to help you along the way? What was that journey like for yourself?
As everybody else starting businesses, I lost a lot of money by learning things, by doing this. I can tell you, when I started to sell, let's say, clothing, because I told you, I've tried many things. I did online arbitrage, wholesale, many things. So, for example, I started to sell clothing, and like 7-8 years ago, it was almost impossible to get into the clothing category. So I had to pay some software, sign up for this software. They have the insiders on Amazon, stuff like that. And this was the way just to get the approved to sell in this category. Right now, everything is way easier. But back days when you want to rank the product, it was so much easier than it is today. The algorithm keeps changing, and if you want to understand how the ranking works, how BSR works, how to make sure that you do the correct financial planning, the correct product development, the roadmap for your products, it takes a lot of time and knowledge. For me, I strongly suggest to everybody who is just starting is to network as much as you can do with the people in your space. Do some brainstorm with the people who you trust and who've been in the game a lot. Try to focus more on the opportunities and think outside the box. And the other thing is, probably what I can do is there are many podcasts, especially when the pandemic started. Like, you can fill up your whole day just by listening to the podcast. So try to do the podcast as much as you can do, learn from people. And the other cool thing right now, what we have is the Clubhouse.
Right.
Everyone signed up. Everybody has to do it. It's an amazing thing. For people to learn, to get inspired, to get motivated, and keep yourself on track. And this is my best suggestion, and this is the way I'm learning myself every day. And I think this is the critical part of every business, to be able to learn things every day that makes you as the business owner better in many things, and it makes your business stronger.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. I wish I was on Clubhouse. I don't have any Apple products that would allow me to be on that right now. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. You have to be excluded in some ways. But we do podcasts like this. I'm constantly learning from sellers like yourself and other service providers to get those knowledge tips and to become a better kind of well-rounded person. Always absorbing more information as best I can. But in terms of the capabilities of you as a seller, where do you have to dedicate your time running all these brands? Do you rely heavily on like virtual assistants, or do you rely heavily on partners? Where does that time management aspect come in for you?
So time management is one of the most important things for me, because to balance so many businesses and so many product launches that I'm doing right now, my current period of life, it's kind of crazy. So I think the best way to describe it is delegate as much as you can, but delegate it wisely. Unless you know how to do the thing yourself, then you can tell someone, okay, this should be done this way, and you can rely on the knowledge of the person you're delegating something to, because he might execute this skill much better than you can do and make it better and make it more efficient. So for me, I have a big team, and each person is responsible for their role assignments. We all track ourselves in Trello and Google spreadsheets, and I think the opportunity that currently Amazon gives us with the user permission, with the accesses, with the thing that you can pull up reports and do it so much more efficient than it used to be many years ago. I think a good team but you need to understand in every team that you're building that you are the one that is driving the bus. All the passengers, all your team are on that bus, and you have to be the one who is motivating them, who is inspiring them, and who is understanding where we're going at, and educating the passengers of your bus where we have to go and how we're going to do this trip.
Absolutely. So you have to be a leader first and foremost, and then hopefully you can rely heavily on them to kind of take those other tasks off the plate. I love what you're saying. What's the one thing that still scares you as an entrepreneur going into all these ventures?
Oh my God, I'm scared of many things. People who sell on Amazon, they always wake up with some type of scares. Well, that year, I have to admit, 2020 was very scary for me. I launched the brand Prognology, and the launch didn't go as good as I planned it to go because we had the delays. This is mostly closing. The summer collection arrived end of August, so then I had to find out if I can sell it or not. Then the storage limit increased. No, not the storage. The storage cost increased. Then the limits for the new stuff that the winter collection was coming. It was kind of messy, and that 2020 taught all Amazon sellers how we have to be flexible, how we have to understand what's going on and adjust to all these changes. That really taught us a lot. And right now I'm on my way to open my own warehouse. I never actually needed that for many years since we didn't have a problem with our inventory planning, with everything we had. We've been relying on Amazon, and right now we come to understanding that the situation changes and we have to adjust for that. And this is kind of scary because your financial planning for 1 year can change in a matter of couple weeks and can do crazy things to your business. So as I said, limits was scary 2020. Increased inventory storage cost, that was scary. Then I think just even the ranking strategies, the new strategies Amazon doing right now, it's kind of scary because before you could actually calculate, predict when you're doing your launch, how many giveaways, how many reviews, how many how many things you can do to be on page 1, to be on page 2. But right now it's very hard, and new people come in every day. Competitors don't sleep; they watching you. It's scary, like for everybody else. But we're doing it. We know where we're going, and me and my team, we strongly believe that if you're delivering a good product, a good customer service, there is nothing stands on your way. You just have to keep doing it, and you will succeed.
So when that's a fantastic mentality, and it reminds me a lot of Isabella Hamilton, which I believe you guys are best friends, or really good friends.
My best friend, yes.
You guys literally sound like the same person, which I love entirely. Just the mindset around business and e-commerce, because it's not for the faint of heart. I think it's very tough to overcome the ups and downs, and you have to be level-headed and just kind of truck through. And you said you tout all the failures that you've had to go through to get to where you're at today. Maybe you yourself is there a moment or a time do you think that this will be enough? Like I've made it where I want to be, or do you think that the entrepreneur soul is always going to be continue on and keep going until for the next thing and keep growing? Does that question make sense?
Yeah. I understand what you want to mean. Where I am right now. So first of all, you know me and people who are close to me, they know that I'm serial entrepreneur. So business is a big part of my life. I go to bed thinking about business. Sometimes in the conversation, people lose me because I'm like, for a couple seconds, even minutes, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I have this idea. We have to implement it here, do this, do that. I'm going to my to-doist, like assigning the task. Okay, we have to do that. This is my life. This is my passion.
I have my list right here too. As I'm thinking and doing a podcast, I'm writing notes to myself. Remember to do this later.
Yes. You see, this is the life of entrepreneurs. You won't see it too much in females. We kind of rare female entrepreneurs because I think the mind of entrepreneur is we still have more male mentality than female. I honestly think that that's my opinion. That's why it's hard for female entrepreneurs to have friends with other females.
So do you think that there's just like with a lot of businesses, just representation and opportunity has not been met, or that there's not support behind that community? What do you think that's the reason for
I
that?
think right now, last couple years, yes, with the female empowerment, with the movements to support females in business, yes, we have lots of support, but it's still, like guys, if they have deals, they would better go to another guy, talk to him and do the deal. And it's easier for the female to dig into the very specific niche as e-com, like there is 98% of guys in our niche. Maybe right now it's 90, but it's still, you can see on the podcast, you can see everywhere. It's still mostly guys and not too many females. But coming back to your first questions, where I came right now, at this point of my life, I finally realized that doesn't matter the amount of money you make. For me, what matters really is the growth that I see in my companies, the steady growth. There is no ups and downs, like we just know that we're growing, maybe not as fast as we would love to, but we're growing, we're developing new products. More important is we're making people happy with our product. They actually changing their life. They actually bringing the new vision on their life with the help of our products, especially TerraMed products, as health products, and they do tremendously change people's life. So for me, the most important thing is I'm emotionally right now very happy. I'm satisfied. I am very calm, in harmony with myself, and this is I'm proud of. This is I'm much more proud than any of the businesses I made and anywhere I went, financially or professionally, it doesn't matter. And I think for the entrepreneur, just to be happy at the place where they are right now, in the private life, in the personal life, in the mindset, having the clear mindset, have a very 100% positive mindset is the most important thing that I have achieved during all these years. Because I've been through, as many entrepreneurs, I've been through depressions, I've been suffering with like my businesses like it's my child. We're going through some rough time and I'm suffering, I'm not sleeping, I'm trying to figure out. But right now I'm like calm, it's just business, no emotions, take it easy and find the solution. And like Tony Robbins says, it's not about the resources, it's about the resourcefulness. So you can always find a way in the business, if you're the business owner, from any difficult situation.
That's fantastic. I love that mentality in terms of where, your mindset is and continuing to grow. Do you think that there's one thing you wish you would have known at the beginning of your career versus, maybe that would have like quickly got you to where you are today? Or there's that one thing that you're like, going into all of this, I wish I would have known it was either difficult, or I wish I would have known I would have had to go through all this to mentally prepare myself? Or do you feel like that wouldn't have mattered because you still would have had to gone through all of that? That still would have made you who you are today. Going through that made you even a better person.
That was the conversation, the question I had with Mina Elias earlier this morning. It's my other best friend.
Yeah, I love Mina. Him and I are constantly talking on social media.
Amazing. So and this is something I have a very, very good point. I regret of not risking enough. I've been on ecom 10 years, and I just started to risk to try many new things just past 2 years. Before that, I was like, okay, we have one thing, we have one company, let's put all the effort, let's do this, let's do it by the book, how they say, and see how it's going to go. It's amazing, it's good, but you know what? You're young. And I told to Mina, we are young, we are in our growth spurt professionally. So we have to try new things. We have nothing to lose, completely nothing to lose. And there is a good proverb, like saying in Russian language, those who don't risk, they don't drink champagne. And I really love this expression. You know what? You can try 10 things, or you can try 3 things. There is way higher probability and possibility of winning of one of those 10 things if you only try 3. So it's not about spreading yourself too much, but just trying. Even like the Bible said, come into any open door, any open opportunities that life represents you. Don't be scared. As I said, you have nothing to lose. You have food, you have clothes. I'm at this point of my life that I strongly suggest everybody who is scared, don't be. There's nothing to be scared about. And if you're determined, if you have motivation, you can get whatever you want for yourself.
I love that. That's all fantastic information in terms of like how you're presenting it, because I think like a lot of people, and I think I told this to Isabella too, a lot of people just miss out on the mentality of business. I mean, obviously he exudes it in more ways than one. There's just so many different things that entrepreneurs lack in terms of they might be good in business, but in mentality, if you can't stay strong and you can't support other people, or you can't rely on other people to support you, I think that's where people get worn down the quickest, is mentality. You might have a great product. You might be a strong individual. You might have a great idea. But at the end of the day, if you can't stretch yourself thin enough or support yourself in those needs, I think a lot of people, that's where the failures come from, and they get burnt out. And then that's where, they no longer want to be successful, or they no longer can be successful and grow from that aspect. Is there a person out there that you wish you could meet still in person, maybe like as a business person or an influential icon?
There are many of them, many people that I like. I listen to. I like Andy Frisella. I like Ty Lopez. I love Tony Robbins. Many people that the way they think, the way they present the information, it's just amazing. And I think we can't miss any opportunity. If there is a way to listen to the podcast of the people who really changing lives, like Andy Frisella, for example. Yeah, you have to do that, and you cannot just miss the opportunity. And then again, there are many other people. Just go in the clubhouse, see what's going on in the groups, and you will find someone maybe unknown, but they will bring you that piece of information or that piece of inspiration that can actually change your life. And you will look at yourself, come on, like, I can do that. If someone else did it, why can't I? So this is the thing, like, don't go and run away. Oh, everybody likes Tony Robbins, I have to go do the Date with Destiny or do this or do that. You know what? Find someone that resonates with you. And this is the same thing with your friends and with the people you surround yourself. Just today I posted something. If you surround yourself with the 5 confident people, you will be the 6th ones. If you surround yourself with the 5 billionaires, millionaires, you will be the 6th one, because the circle, the people you are around, it means a lot.
Look at that. We mentioned her name and she appears. Yes, what's up, Isabella? How are you? She's super busy too. She's constantly all over the place. My God, I don't know how Isabella does it either. I see you guys everywhere. When I tout people, look at people who are doing the right thing in e-commerce and in business, I always point to you guys. And like, I know this is the first time we're talking like face to face, but we've had a couple calls and messages back and forth. Isabella is constantly just everywhere podcasting and, going on all these talks with people. So it's a testament to what you guys do, the hard work that you put in. I think it's shown as her, obviously, as a service provider, being recognized as one of the top ones in the space. I think the top one in Amazon this past year, but also you are doing so many great things in your business as well. What's the, you mentioned that there's a lot of difficult, products and spaces that you kind of maybe failed in and you didn't succeed in. What's one that you think consistently is the most difficult for sellers to start their Amazon journey?
Well, I would say that supplements have always been difficult. Everything when it comes to health and personal care, it's kind of difficult. But if you are sure in your product, if you yourself believe in your product and you have something that makes you think that this product is going to win it, like there's nothing stands in your way. You cannot have the mentality and you have not the mindset of losing, of fear, of anything that's going to go wrong. Like, be realistic, be optimistically realistic, and just keep trying. If you try with one product and it didn't do the sales that you've been trying to achieve right away, it doesn't mean that like you're done, like you cannot keep trying. Many people trying. I have products. I had like last year or the other year, I was launching maternity bras, $50,000-$60,000, and the product just didn't go. And it's business. I had many Chinese competitors like everybody else, and American brand that had been established on the market for more than 10 years. So it was very, very difficult to compete with them. That's why I decided just to quit on this product and move on. So I don't think that there is some warning or something that would say, okay, guys, don't do that, don't do this. And keep trying, keep risking, and believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, there is nothing that can prevent you from succeeding.
Absolutely. In your kind of expertise, since you've been around Amazon for the longest time, as much as experience you have, what's the one thing that you get most excited about in terms of Amazon, whether it's like new technology that you think that they can innovate in, or in some sort of capacity where, you see kind of trends going one certain direction? What gets you really excited about being in an Amazon space, just as a seller in general?
What gets me excited the most, I'll be honest with you, the idea that right now the acquisition for the e-com companies that keep growing. So if you have the brand and you establish in the brand, there is very, very, very high possibility that you can sell it much higher than any other brick and mortar store or any brand that does not have the Amazon visibility. That's number one. That's thank you, Amazon, that keeps many sellers motivated. The other thing is Amazon right now gives the amazing opportunity to build the brand awareness through the Amazon post, through the DSP, through the videos, through the advertising. And it gives the opportunity to make people recognize your brand and suggest your small little brand along with the biggest brand that's been on the market for like 20, 30 years. Like I can compare it with motherhood, maternity, and let's say pregnology. They've been on this is the biggest corporation for the maternity wear, and they suggest my small brand that is 8-9 months right now old, along with them, and we are on the same page, and that's amazing. And this is the amazing opportunities, and there are people who are thinking to jump in right now. Oh, the space is too saturated, maybe I won't be able to make my product profitable because there is too much competition here and there. There is lots and lots of opportunities. Like, don't miss out. If you are thinking to do it or not do it, better do it and regret that you haven't done that. This is one of the biggest things that Amazon gave us. 5-6 years ago, there was not even the like conversations like that. Oh, I'm building this brand on Amazon in 2-3 years. We can sell it for this. No one were talking like that right now. It's like everybody's talking. There is Trasher, there is Heyday, many acquisition companies, and that makes us as the sellers more motivated, and we see where we're going. And another thing with the Amazon is that Amazon, even though we spending so much money for PPC and for the campaigns and like all over the place for the fees, nothing else in the world right now can give you as much visibility for your brand and for your product as Amazon. You can educate customers through the listing on your product about your product. Like if you launch something new, you got the patent or it's provisional patent, I don't know. You can actually educate people all over the world on all the platforms about your product. And that would cost you much less than running the Google ads, than doing constant Google advertising and do the social media exposure, pay for the magazines or stuff like that. This is the opportunity that is presented for us. It's just on the table. Like everybody has to just take it and enjoy it in full.
All that's so much great information in terms of like that mentality. We actually did have a question before I move on to maybe my thoughts as well. Brendan Girdler from our audience, he asked, is it obvious when an upcoming seller should stick with Amazon or invest more in an intense web experience? And what he means by that is, I think, to diversify and grow your business off Amazon and to like make that next step. Is that an obvious thing for you? At what point you need to grow your, opportunity on different platforms, like either a different marketplace, which is something that PingPong obviously helps people with. But in your mind, is there a certain threshold that you have to meet in order to think about moving into a next marketplace or a next step offline or off of Amazon, I should say?
That's an amazing question, Brennan, and I'm happy to answer that. So let's put it this way. They say, don't put all the eggs in one basket. That's right, completely right. But I strongly suggest for the people who are just starting on Amazon or they're in the middle of the journey, they don't know where to do, concentrate first on make a steady income. Give yourself the threshold or whatever time frame of 6 or 8 months. I have to make this $1,000 a day, $300 a day. If you come up to this and you know that you already established yourself in the niche, you have a good ranking, you have BSR, you yourself on Amazon be able to keep up with the inventory and all the hiccups with the inventory, storages, with the limits, this and that. If you make this steady income, you're sure about that, then there is a good point to diversify and keep trying. Because when you're going to start diversifying, let's see, everybody knows about Facebook ads. It's the blood from the eyes in majority of the cases. However expert you can find, there is never a guarantee. I've been doing Facebook ads for like all my life, business life, and it's just terrible. It's never 100% successful. It's this thing that you keep trying. But with this trying, that means that you invest in the money. So you have to be sure what you're doing it. You want to do the funnels. Again, absolutely, you can do that. Bring in the traffic to your Shopify store or going into the retail. That all requires investments. Retail gets 90 days net at least. So you have to be prepared yourself. So I think the idea of diversifying and investing more money into the different channels should be discussed with you and the business owner and your team when you would come up in the existing business to some certain amount of money that would allow this financial change. And that's just my opinion based on my experience.
No, I mean, those are great, and words of wisdom in terms of where you personally have been through in terms of how to grow. You have to be secure in those ways, because even when I was asked the other day on a podcast and YouTube video that I was recording with somebody. They asked me, at what point do you, like, how much is enough to invest in yourself to start on Amazon? And I said, it's a loaded question. There's not like a formula for you as a person or like to be successful, because you have to be risk tolerant in capacity. You have to know like what segment are you going into, that can really determine how much you have to invest in yourself. Are you going to launch your strategy? Is it competitive? All these different things that kind of come into the factor. And if you, there's not like $1 amount that makes people comfortable with moving from one to another or growing and even starting on Amazon. So you don't have any like tips or ideas for people like this is like to be comfortable to start a brand or to start on Amazon, that it's this dollar amount or this kind of business opportunity? Do you have like those check marks that you have to have in order to say, this is a good idea, we should launch this product or this business?
This is a very difficult question. Believe me, you know, like
I'm all about the hard questions here at Crossover Commerce. You're asking the hard hitting questions from most successful sellers. We need to know.
Yes, it's been that question many people asked me before. I'll tell a little bit of my story. So I started my business with $2,000 12 years ago. It was February. By the end of the year, revenue was more than 1 million. How I did that, I had to find the way to negotiate, because I was doing a lot of the wholesale. I was trying to negotiate the terms. People were giving me the products for not only not 30 days to pay them back. Like they sending me the product, normally you have to pay right away or 30 days net. I was able to negotiate to 60 days net or 90 days net. So I was able to make big turnarounds with the money. As I said in the beginning, it's not about the resources, it's about the resourcefulness. If you're really determined and you know that you have to do that, there is no other way, believe me, with $200, with $2,000, you can make it to $1 million, because I did it myself. If I did it, you all can do that. Another thing is, as I said, be very careful financially planning. You don't want to dump all this money you have into the product, have the product arrived, and then sit without no money to run the PPC, without no money to do giveaways, with no money to reorder the inventory. So make it wisely. Here there are many courses that would help you to do the correct financial planning and have the roadmap of your business. Have the clear and realistic understanding of where you are right now, what financial position you are right now. There are many opportunities to take SBA loans, things like can help you scale your business if you're already in business. But if you start in that, don't go crazy. Just have the roadmap, be clear, be understanding. There's many free resources. In our Amazon community, many people do the courses. Just try to get as much information as you can. And when the world will open up, try to start networking with the same minded people, the people who are on the same brainwave with you, who understand your situation, where you are right now. You can, if you see me in person and you want to talk to me, absolutely feel free. I'm glad to help, because many people have been helping me during my way in business. And that's why my giving back to the Amazon community, to the business community I am right now, I try to help as many people as I can with the advice, with the recommendation, with the good referral, stuff like that, because I think that's where we are, and we have to help to each other. That makes us better humans.
That's where I always tell people if they're getting into Amazon, to be honest with you, is that this community, I had a call even today, a lady who just started working in the Amazon space. And I said, you will never find another group of sellers as well as service providers that want others to succeed more than this group right here. And I say it's a pretty tight-knit community. There's obviously thousands upon thousands of international sellers, service providers, people that are considered influencers. That's what I think is that the community is so helpful in every regards. If you ask a question in a Facebook group or a Clubhouse event or on a podcast like this, they're going to come up with an answer, even though it's not like, people are still protective on themselves. Like, I'm not going to give you my business model and like let you steal it from me. but they want you to be successful too as an entrepreneur, grow your business. And it's almost like the American dream, but almost like an international dream, like to be successful on yourself. Don't rely on other people, but support each other along the way. So everyone kind of does that working together mentality.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really grateful for the people we are surrounded with. I have to mention my besties here, Nina and Isabella. They're the most amazing people in the world, in our community. You can reach out, talk to them anytime during the day and night, and they're just here to help you. And I'm amazed. I learn from them a lot, and I have such a big gratitude to the universe to send me those two human beings into my life. I feel blessed.
Absolutely. And I think like you said, like those guys are always willing to obviously reach out and help, and they're always fantastically answering questions for me. I had just insight I got the other day from Mina, just about like mentality of like a seller and where they're coming from, and like the needs and pain points that they're, working on, and what's tough to do. So it's always constantly learning in the space. Maybe before we get to the top of the hour, Krystisina, what's the thing that you're most proud of in your journey that you've gotten to currently? And maybe if it's in business, maybe it's personally, what's the one thing that you still feel like you're most proud of?
I try to be very honest in all the podcasts and all the interviews that I'm doing. So, I'm proud of being the immigrant here in the United States, with the accent, with all the things that you can think of. And I made it to be the professional businesswoman, and I'm proud of the things I did. And that was difficult for me to come up, to go to the conferences, to start talking to people, to break the ice. Also, the difficult things is like breaking the ice when you see that the person is not really into the conversation, but you have to make this deal. You have to make things happen. You have to get the contract. You have to have the supplier. And I'm proud of the way I was doing those 10 years in business. There is no one else in the industry can say, oh my God, she did this, she did that. I take responsibility for everything that I do. That's why I am one of the unique sellers you can ever find that speaking openly about their businesses, about their journey. Like, okay, I had this history of this product, this history of this product. You don't really see people like that. They are very closed when it comes to talking about their products, their product launches, about the strategies or stuff like that. I'm very open and I'm talking about that. Sometimes it's hard. Yes, I lost lots of money. If everything would be okay, correct, I would be the billionaire already. But I'm human. I'm doing mistakes, and I still think that I will be a billionaire one day.
I believe it. I have no doubt. If there's anyone going to be it, you have the hustler mentality and like that entrepreneur mindset that I think a lot of people, need to get there to that point. I guess the last thing before we kind of close off on our episode today, what is one thing you're most excited about maybe in 2021 as like a society, or like what is one hope for the industry that you either want to see or that you want to see in business in general for the e-commerce community?
First, let's do the hope for the whole world to open up.
Let's all hold hands together and just say, let's hope the world opens up again.
The world to open up. I want to go to my favorite restaurants. I want to travel. I want to see my amazing Amazon community on the conferences where we used to go almost every month. I want to go to China, to the trade shows, to my factories in Taiwan. I really miss that. That's been my life past 10 years, and it's cut, and we're so lonely. We're just sitting in our houses. California is completely closed. We can't go out. There is only takeout food, no gyms, nothing. This is depressing, and I really want this to be changed as soon as possible. I pray for that, and yes, that's my biggest hope. When it comes to the Amazon community and to Amazon field, let's forget about all the limits. We pray to Amazon to build as many warehouses so they can fit all our inventory, please. Because I'm just so tired of getting out of stock and doing merchant fulfilled. I'm not the only one doing that 100%. I really pray that these things gonna get so much easier, and I don't know what else. This is just the biggest things that I'm hoping they're actually realistically have to change next couple months. I do hope for that, and that's probably it.
I think you spoke
We
for all
went
of us. Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, I was going to say for 2020, I think a lot of people, sorry, I have to mute sometimes because I hear an echo in my ear and that's my fault. When I think a lot of people want to see people in person again and feel comfortable with any sort of capacity of, being able to go and eat at a restaurant or have a beer or a drink at a bar and, feel comfortable in that mindset. I think it's taken a lot mentally. And I know a lot of sellers have gone through this, kind of soul searching aspect of everything, of being either at home full time or working at your home, having to juggle like kids and school and all the other capacities that comes with being an adult, and trying to figure out how to be safe and happy, and something that no one's probably ever been through and we want to ever happen again. So being an entrepreneur, I think we're all lucky, obviously, to continue to do business wherever we want to be in the world, whether it's in a different country or anywhere in the United States or the world, that for that matter. But yeah, seeing people in person and feeling comfortable and safe again, I think that's probably the number one thing that we'll all want to see in 2021. So for obviously, Krystina, before we kind of cap off, what's the best way if people have questions about entrepreneurship, want to follow your brands, know your story, maybe like reach out to you because you're always one to help other people. How can they best get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me through the Facebook. Facebook I use mostly for the business. On every minute I'm kind of on Facebook groups and here and there. So yes, reach out to me, send me the message on Facebook. If you need any marketing services, we're only doing videos, DSP for some sellers. You can reach out to here is the page on Instagram. Yes, you can reach. It's a private. I've closed that for some privacy reasons, but Facebook is open. You can do the Facebook. I don't think I hear you.
That's all right. I muted myself. That was on purpose. So I always been doing that. So producing this show is fun, as you can probably imagine. I produce, throw up questions, make sure I'm monitoring all channels and making sure I'm listening as well. So sometimes I catch myself on mute, always talking with people. But yeah, Instagram, obviously that's my fault on Instagram. We're connected. Facebook, go and search for Krystina and her brands. Her brands are also on Instagram too. So go ahead and follow that journey as well. You've been so helpful and awesome today, just kind of sharing and being super honest and truthful with everyone. Always, for people I cap off every show, you're always now considered a friend of the Crossover Commerce and friend of the show. Whenever you want to welcome, you're more than welcome to cop on again and share your thoughts on specific topics or comments here and there. Please feel free to jump on, and I can't wait to see where your journey leads you next.
I can't wait to see myself, and thank you so much. That was amazing. I really love talking to you, and that's an amazing podcast. Good energy, good mindset. I love you.
That's what we do here at Crossover Commerce. We're here about the great mindsets, and we're here about trying to bring value to the community. Again, we'll do more seller spotlights too. So if you as a community, Krystina, again, thank you so much. I'll let you hop off, but thank you again for joining us today. If you have for the community who's watching us live on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, go ahead and submit your comments or thoughts. What do you want to see from this podcast? Who do you want to see if they haven't appeared already? We're actually bringing on a lot more sellers. We're trying to bring on more service providers, just different perspectives, and not just Amazon, but e-commerce and international growth in general. That's why we at PingPong tout, we always want to help people grow internationally, grow their business. That's what my show is all focused around. Walk away from the show with one nugget or another, so that you can elevate your business. This was super helpful in terms of getting me pumped up to get the rest of this week, finish strong. And then obviously kick off 2021. It feels like all the rust is off now. We can go full steam ahead. follow Krystisina on all of her social media channels. And then also, follow PingPong. This is a podcast, so go ahead and subscribe and download on Apple Music, which we just got greenlit, so that's awesome. And then on other platforms like Spotify, Amazon Music, obviously, and then Apple Podcasts as well. Go ahead and, if you don't listen to this live, watch this again, save it for later. And if you need questions for Krystisina and her team, go ahead and tag her in all social media posts, and she's awesome to get those answered for you. I'm Ryan Kramer, host of Crossover Commerce. Thanks for joining us again on another episode. We're going to cap off tomorrow live talking about PPC bulk files. I don't know what they are, but I'm going to learn just like you guys. We're going to find out with Elizabeth Green of Jungler, what those are, how it's going to help you grow your business and really kind of take your game to the next level with those basics. So watch us live again on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Go ahead and subscribe to those channels. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those social media channels. And we'll catch you guys next time on Crossover Commerce.